Thanks for tuning in to High on Horror. This is Drew talking at you.
And I'm John. This episode and every future episode is dedicated to the horror hounds and smokers out there who want to expand their knowledge of the genre and have a good time.
We missed you the last 2 weeks, and we hope you missed us.
Yeah, we've been sick as hell. First it was me, then you, then me again, and then you.
Then I hurt my knee. Yeah, it was crazy.
Shit's hopefully back to normal now.
But during our time off, we watched Barbarian, and we immediately knew that was what the topic of our next episode was going to be. So today we're reviewing Barbarian.
And of course, get a bake.
Today on High on Horror. Interviews, reviews, and the latest news all rolled into one. Alright, so before we start talking about Barbarian, John, what do you got for us to smoke today, and why?
I got us some Orange Dream, and I got it because orange is my favorite color. That's like a lot of orange
look at that. It's
up
beautiful.
In
It looks like a Sesame Street Muppet.
It looks like a Muppet. It's very energizing. It's a sativa-dominant hybrid. It's 18% THC crossed with Orange Crush and Blue Dream.
Ooh.
Each of which brings a unique dimension to the strain. Inviting aromas of citrus and vanilla combine to create a distinct flavor profile that can only be compared to orange creamsicles. See, they say this shit, and I've never once had a weed that I've smoked and went, this tastes like an orange creamsicle.
Tastes like ice cream. Yeah.
If it did, like, that ounce would be gone that day.
And it would sell fucking fast. Everybody would want it. Because the whole thing with people smoking is they want flavor.
Yeah. I'm in flavor country.
Right.
Mellow, euphoric, lightly settles in, easing you into a relaxed but alert state of mind that lets creativity roam free. Depression and stress sink away while your mood is lifted to new heights, and its lightweight effects make Orange Dream the perfect choice for any time of day. See, some of these people that write these descriptions, man, it is just overly wordy. Lightweight effects make you... No. Anyway... The feelings is you're dying over there.
Yeah, I'm trying to recover it.
It's a struggle for Drew right now.
That shit punched me right in the lungs. Whew.
But while he's recovering over there, I'll let you all know that this makes you feel uplifted, energetic, and happy. And, negatives. I don't see no dry mouth.
Oh, shit.
But number one is paranoid, dizzy, and dry eyes. I don't know. I feel like I'd rather substitute that dizzy for some dry mouth.
Oh, shit.
And as it said, the flavors are orange, vanilla, and citrus. I
tasted the citrus just now. I didn't taste the other shit, but it tasted very lemony. I tasted that.
It's funny because it also lists what it helps with, and none of them are over 50%. So I'm like, why are you even... The highest is 48. It helps people... reported helping people with stress. So it's like there's nothing that it's really good at. It's just all average.
But there's nothing really bad. I mean, well, I guess it make you dizzy. But all right. So to start with Barbarian, let me just start by saying, John, that I think you'll agree with me that I am so fucking glad that I knew nothing about Barbarian before I saw it. Nothing was spoiled for me.
I didn't even watch a trailer, which is unusual for me, but I still haven't watched the trailer. I meant to watch it after the movie because I feel like the trailer, whatever trailer they put out, probably would have ruined a lot of this movie for me. And I went in blind as well, and I'm kind of glad I did. I had seen people say they liked it, people not like it, but I never saw anything about the actual movie. I just knew...
Yeah.
The Airbnb part of it.
Well, see, I did watch the trailer, and the trailer did not give away what was to come. That's the thing; it totally blindsides you. But I didn't. But I will say that I didn't watch enough of the trailers or TV spots to give away spoilers. I only watched the first trailer. I don't know what came after that, so there could have been some revealing stuff later on. But I didn't see any pictures or like online of anyone talking about it with spoiling things. So that was really nice. So we got to experience the movie at face value, and I don't think that it would have been as impactful as it was had we known spoilers.
All I saw was Airbnb memes in horror groups, but I had no idea what it meant at all. And
yeah.
I saw ones that were, I guess, good enough that other people liked them, but it didn't affect me of knowing anything going into the movie.
Yeah, I mean, the shock value alone going into this movie is golden. Director Zach Kreger had a hard time getting Barbarian made. It took 1.5 years of no's, as Zach puts it, before he finally got lucky and the studio backed it. Barbarian's got some ghastly content, but Zach being mostly known for comedy work like The Whitest Kids You Know.
I fucking love The Whitest Kids You Know. That shit was great.
Well, that made it even tougher for him to get it made because he's known for comedy, on top of the fact that he's never directed before. And I said that this movie has ghastly content because it's fucked up. And it's so fucked up that actor Justin Long had to actually put the script down and finish it the next morning. It was too scary and fucked up for him to read before bed.
Interesting.
Yeah, right. Anyway, Zach Kreger read a book called The Gift of Fear, which is kind of like a self-help book. And there was this chapter all about red flags that men set up and women ignore, and how women need to recognize these red flags and stop ignoring them. So Zach kind of got inspired and wrote as many red flag scenarios that he could think of and put them into one scene. And then he kind of built the rest of the movie around that. The 1999 Takashi Miike film Audition, one of my favorite Japanese movies, was a heavy influence on Barbarian. And I think that they'd make a hell of a double bill. John, do your thing, brother.
Give me a second. I'm ripping the bong. I waited too long. I was like, I haven't hit this. Anyway, yes, as you said, Barbarian was directed by Zach Kreger. It's a 2022 American horror film. And this was actually the first film he's directed solo. Previously, he co-directed the 2009 Miss March with Whitest Kids You Know co-creator Trevor Moore. We just lost Trevor Moore last year. That's right, yeah. That was a crazy accident that happened. Just very unfortunate. He also co-directed 2011's The Civil War on Drugs. This film is produced by Arnon Milchin, Roy Lee, Raphael Margolis, and J.D. Lifshitz. The film stars Georgina Campbell, Bill Skarsgård, and Justin Long. So we start the film, and Tess Marshall, who's played by Georgina Campbell, rents an Airbnb that's in the rundown Brightmoor neighborhood of Detroit. She's there on a job interview, only she finds out it's been double booked, and Keith Toshko, played by Bill Skarsgård's already there. Keith kind of freaks her out at first. You mentioned that Red Flags book.
Yeah. He comes off as too inviting, too kind almost. And
then later he kind of explains he kind of thought he didn't realize how he was acting and understands why she was kind of standoffish.
Yeah.
He does stuff like he offers her a drink and he pours it. And then, he's trying to, be here, this isn't open. I want to open it in front of you.
Or, here, come inside while we figure this all out. Weird stuff like that. All these red flags.
And she starts to come around to him, and they kind of share their love of music, and he kind of surprises her with his knowledge, and he's into the stuff that she's worked on. And they decide to share the house together, and Drew, would you ever rent an Airbnb? I mean, I like the idea that you get a house, but then I also don't like the idea. Or, sometimes it's not even a house, it's something cooler than that. I've seen some, weird stuff. But I would feel weird staying in someone's house like that, whereas I wouldn't feel as weird staying in a hotel.
Yeah, I agree. Part of the paranoid person in me would be do they have cameras set up here? Are they? If I were to want to jerk off on their couch real quick, are they gonna fucking see it and know about it? So
wow, that wasn't even the part I thought of. I just feel like I would be weird being in somebody's house. Well,
it would.
I would feel like they're gonna freak out if I missed something cleaning up and I left like a empty soda bottle on the table and forgot about it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if I were going to a convention or traveling and needed a place to stay and there were no hotels or nothing available, I would seek it as an option. But I'm not gung ho to just be I really like that house, let's rent it. Yeah, I'd rather just go to a fucking hotel. Even though I'd have way less shit. I mean, I guess I would rather go to an Airbnb if I was going to be stuck with a roach hotel. But if there was if it was a decent hotel with no bugs, yeah.
And jumping back in here to the story, the next morning Keith leaves for the day and Tess goes to her interview. Tess has a pretty rough day. First, the woman that's interviewing her tells her that she should not be staying at that Airbnb in that part of town. And then when she gets back from the interview, she's chased by a homeless man yelling that she has to leave. So she ends up working her way downstairs and ends up getting locked downstairs. But then she kind of stumbles upon a hidden corridor. And then, obviously you gotta go check that shit out.
Yeah. Well, no, but white people do.
Well, She does too.
That's true. That's true. She's not necessarily Caucasian either, but movie people do.
She acted white.
Yeah, she had white mannerisms.
She finds a room with a camcorder, a stained mattress, and a bloody handprint. At first, I was like, "Is this Black Phone?" Minus the camcorder, I guess. Tess backtracks and tries to leave, but she's still locked in the basement.
But no, wait. Tell me when you first saw the room. When you find the room within the room, and then you find the fucking that dirty mattress, that stained mattress with the camera on the tripod. My first thought right there was, "Oh, this ain't good."
Yeah.
Oh, this ain't good. You don't want to find a fucking dank room hidden behind some wall with a camcorder set up with the mattress on like a metal
Dude recorded stuff.
It just had like hostile written all over it. No, thank you.
And around this time, Keith ends up coming home and he frees her. Tess tells Keith what she's seen, and he does the white thing also and goes to the basement and investigates.
Yep, he decides to not just take her word for it and leave, but to actually just go everywhere, go down there and check it out himself.
I kind of thought here we were going to get to see the turn, like it was going to be like something from like Superhosts, where the host he's really the host.
Yep.
From our boy Brandon Christensen, I thought it was kind of maybe going to go somewhat like the Superhost route. Did you think that too?
Yeah. I mean, if I say what I want to say, it might be a spoiler.
Okay.
Are we breaking this? Are we doing this one into a spoiler segment?
I'll save my spoilers, because even though we're so early into the movie, like shit happens early in the movie.
I'll just say this. My thought was going in was that I'm watching the movie with my wife, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm watching it with Sam, and I'm like watching the movie, and I don't trust Keith. Like you were just asking me, I don't trust him. I'm like, okay, he's setting her up. But I told my wife, I said, I was like, but the truth be told, like, if I were to write this movie, I would write him to be suspicious as fuck just to pull the rug out from under you and make it so he's not the one. So that was my thought going in. Rather that's what happens or not, stick around for the spoilers. But going in, I thought maybe I should trust him. Maybe we're kind of being honey-dicked here. Maybe we're being made to think that he's guilty and he's not. So that's all I'll say.
Yeah, getting back to the dungeon here, Keith doesn't show back up, and Tess decides to go back downstairs. She discovers the hidden corridor she'd initially found leads to a subterranean tunnel, and that's where she hears Keith screaming for help. Like I said, I know it's early in the movie, but I think this is probably a good spot to jump off for spoilers, because shit starts happening kind of early in the movie, and it's one of those ones you need to see it for yourself.
Agreed.
The movie has twists and turns I did not see coming. We have another film where it's a couple stories that all kind of tie together loosely. Like I feel like we're seeing a lot more of those lately.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just the movies we're picking. I don't know, man. But I feel like we're seeing that theme pop up more and more. Either way, I mean, the effects are done well. The story's good enough for me.
Yeah.
There's some really good kills in the film. There's nothing really I can point to and say, oh, I didn't like this. But I don't know. I can't put it in my top 5. It's one of the better films of the year. I'll give it that. But I don't know if I'd put it in my top 5.
Okay.
I'm not even going to try to do that now because I'd have to think about my top 5. But like, if it's not, it's probably not in the top 5. But it's right around there.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'd start to really think about it. But I mean, still, like, I love the film. I'm going to go a flat 7 out of 10.
Okay, that's a little lower than me. I really, really liked this movie, and I think, again, that it's kind of one of those things, like we'll talk about it again, we'll talk about it in a few minutes, but one of my favorite movies, my favorite horror movies, is The Descent, and that's because it starts off as one kind of movie, and then just completely left hooks you and changes. And Malevolence does that too. Remember how Malevolence legit starts off like the first 45 minutes, it's a bank robbery movie, but then it turns into a slasher movie. Yeah. And so like to not have anything spoiled for me and to watch this baked as hell, just sitting on my couch, to just not know what was coming and to just watch the fucking craziness that unfolded, I was like, I loved it, man. I was in. I gave it an 8.6. 8.6 out of 10. So yeah, I
Yeah,
like
so
the
I'd
I
say
like
it's
the more than
definitely in
you.
your top 5 for this year.
I would put it in exactly number 5 placement. Yeah.
All right, so I guess here's where we'll leave you if you don't want spoilers. So I guess go play your Sega Genesis.
What Nintendo?
All right, diving back in here. Tessa's in the tunnel. She went down, found the corridor, and now she finds an injured Keith. The pair are attacked by a naked, deformed woman who brutally kills Keith. I did not see that shit coming. I know you didn't either, Drew.
The first kill, man, I was like, holy shit. Like, she looked like the infected lady at the end of REC, man. It startled the shit out of me, but I was like, okay, motherfucker, you got me. I'm invested. I gotta see what is this shit, you know?
I win. Bill Skarsgård's dead already?
Yep.
And then it just cuts to actor.
Justin Long.
It's Justin Long.
Yeah.
He's playing actor AJ Gilbride. Dude, I rewound it a couple times because I'm like, did I fucking miss something?
No, but that's the thing. That before we get there, I did want to say that I did believe Keith. There was a point where when Tess was looking for him in the tunnels, I thought, I'm like, this motherfucker's innocent. I was like, he's gonna end up getting fucked up or something. Like, we're expecting him to attack her, but that's not what's gonna happen. And then you see him, and you're thinking, oh no, I don't know, he's acting weird. Maybe he is trying to pull her into something. And then you just see that thing walk up on him, man. Like, yeah, I believed Keith. I believed him, but holy shit. And then, like you said, you just get this brutal kill. And then it just fucking cuts to like sunny California, and you got fucking Justin Long chilling in his convertible,
Dude,
talking on his car phone.
Dude, I watched it and I rewound it twice. Well, like I jumped back like 10 seconds, like twice, and I'm like, I fucking missed something. Why the? And then I'm like, and then I remember going, oh shit. I remembered somebody saying something that Justin Long was in this movie, but I was so into this first story, I completely forgot that he was in the movie.
And now you have like no idea where the story's going because it's about him now, and he's in LA, and it seemingly has nothing to do with what happened in the movie already, you know? So you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I'm still like, okay, well, I forgot Justin Long was in it, but Bill Skarsgård's dead?
Yeah, you're still trying to like get over that, right? But by the way, I want to say that Justin Long said that he relished being an asshole in this movie. That like he was asked if it was hard to play the part, and he said that he absolutely loved it.
Yeah, let's get into AJ here. He gets fired from his television show. It's funny because like it starts and they're like, yeah, we're gonna have an investigation, and it just keeps getting worse and worse as they like talk about it. And then the best part is like, he was that bitch. And he was like, I brought her on the project.
Yeah.
Like he's getting basically it goes up to he's being charged with rape allegations. At first they make it sound like it was just something inappropriate on set. And then like they're trying not to like they're beating around the bush with him and trying not to get to it.
Yeah.
And then he was like, what? And they're like, well, you're being accused of rape.
Yep.
And dude was not happy. He was like, he got her the job. And then his argument was, I was the first one attached to the project. Why don't you get rid of her?
Yeah, right. And then the thing is, he's asked about it later by his friend. His friend legit asked him, and he goes, what's the truth behind it? And he goes, truthfully, he's like, I was a little forceful. Like, yeah, he basically admits that he kind of like forced himself on her, and then he says, but she eventually was down with it. So like he thought it was all good. And I'm like, dude, like,
yeah, because
trying to cover up being a piece of shit makes you still a piece of shit.
We're jumping forward a little bit with that.
I just had to say that right now because
but
it was
I was
relevant.
going to say the thing is like, he plays it good enough in the beginning that you're like, maybe he is innocent.
Yeah.
Like you're like, okay, maybe he really did. And then you get to that point and you're like, oh no, you're a fucking
you're
asshole.
a dick. You're a fucking dick.
Dude,
yeah.
I felt so bad because like there was parts where I'm like, maybe he's really like it's a false accusation. Maybe
because
really
you see how he's going
this.
broke and everybody's dropping him. His lawyer, his fucking his bank account, his accountant don't want nothing to do with him.
And then
you know
like
what I mean?
he gets yelled at by his lawyer because he has to sell some of his assets to pay the legal fees because they told him it's going to be a lot of legal fees. And like he not thinking, he just goes back, which it ends up he owns the rental property. It's the Airbnb in Detroit.
Yeah.
And his lawyer's like, what the hell are you doing? You can't leave the state. Because they were talking about arresting him.
So it looks even worse because he's left the state
he ran.
right after
and that's
these
where
accusations.
You're like, maybe he didn't do it, man, because like all this shit's happening. And then, like you said, he talks to his friend, and it's like, oh no, you were No, you fucking did that. You're a fucking asshole. But he inspects the house, and eventually he finds the hidden tunnel.
Because he sees that like somebody was staying there and doesn't know.
He thought somebody was like.
He realizes that like whoever. So we now know whoever was doing the Airbnb thing was unbeknownst to him. Somebody was renting his house out without him knowing. And he gets there to see Tess and Keith's stuff basically still there and the basement door open.
Yeah, and the deformed woman attacks him, and he falls into a pit alongside Tess. And that
shit's crazy.
Yeah, then after that we go back to the 80s, which we'll be doing that next week, but we'll get to that in the wrap up. So we see the original homeowner, a man named Frank, in a flashback to the 1980s shows he was the house's original owner.
Played by Richard Drake. He played the White Walker.
The OG Night King.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
He was the first one. And we find out Frank abducted women, held them captive in this tunnel, and then he would use the hidden room to videotape himself raping them, and then rape the subsequent children. Ugh. It's like real Father of the Year material there.
Jesus, yeah.
But so we go back to the present now, and Tess explains that the woman, who's referred to as the mother, wants them to act as her children. AJ refuses to drink the milk from the bottle offered by Mother.
Oh, dude! Oh my God! Like everybody talks about the bottle of semen with the hair in it from Don't Breathe. Everybody talks about that, like with the bottle of semen with like the little pube in it. But like, come on, man! How is her holding that dripping fucking bottle
with that hair,
with that fucking long, coarse black hairs around the nipple of it? Oh my God, no! Would you have done it? Are you Justin Long, or are you drinking the milk?
Listen. I want to also bring up he refuses to drink the milk from the bottle offered by the mother. So she drags him away and forces him to breastfeed.
Yeah, she does.
Like, I feel for AJ in these scenes. I'm not trying to drink that milk. But tell me, I thought when that happened, if I was Justin Long, I'd have been like, damn, I should have just fucking sucked on that bottle nipple and just fucking drank the milk that way. Now I'm sucking on the titty.
If you knew that the consequence was going to be forced breastfeeding,
that's why I wanted to get to that, because no, I wouldn't have, but then I would have regretted when she was making me breastfeed. I'd been like, damn, I should have just fucking sucked on that hairy, like, bottle nipple.
But when she makes him breastfeed, that's another one of the moments in the movie where you're just like, what is going on in this movie? How crazy is this shit gonna get? Like, are they really gonna do this and show this? Yep.
So while AJ's being forced to suck on the mother's titties, Jess decides that's the perfect time to get out of the house.
Yeah, fucking A.
She narrowly escapes the house with the help of the homeless man who chased her earlier, and the homeless man is named Andre, played by James Butler. He tells Tess to stay in the not to stay in the neighborhood, as the mother ventures outside to hunt at night.
That was creepy too. He goes, shit comes out at night. I'm like, that naked bitch with saggy titties is roaming the streets every night, and y'all are good with that? Like, y'all are good with that?
I don't think they're good with it, but
shoot that bitch.
That thing's just a swag in it. With the mother distracted, AJ attempts to escape and ventures deep into the tunnels. He finds the room that Mother is seemingly frightened of and discovers a bed-bound Frank. Like, how is my man living? Like, he wasn't in good shape, but like he just been chilling underground.
Yeah, right. Doesn't have a line in the movie. Doesn't say he does say like a word, but not in his older state. He doesn't say a word. He just lays there miserable and pissy.
Initially, AJ thinks Frank's another victim of Mother.
Right, he doesn't know the history.
And he tells Frank the police will come investigate, and AJ discovers the tapes, and he flips out on Frank when he finds out what Frank's been up to.
Yeah, he sees the footage of Frank doing his little rape
Frank
thing.
pulls a gun, and AJ changes his tune real quick.
Dude, I thought he was going to shoot AJ as well. I thought, oh, fuck. Like, you know.
But then Frank just killed himself.
I just thought, like, let the fact that this fucker's old and sick, like, impair his aiming.
Tess reaches a gas station and calls the police, but the officers aren't buying this shit. And they refuse to investigate inside the house. Part of me thinks the cops know.
Yeah.
And they're just like, we're not dealing with the mother.
Oh, real quick, though. Let me go back real quick. I did want to say that during an interview, Justin Long said that there was a scene that actually got cut from the movie because we were talking about him sucking on her titties. There was a scene cut from the movie where during that scene where Justin's being breastfed, the mother, or whatever you want to call it, grabs a rat and like bites into the rat and starts like feeding the rat to Justin and or to AJ, Justin, whichever. So they actually said that was actually too much for the movie and decided to cut it out. So
I can see why.
It is pretty gruesome. Castle Freak. That's what the fucking mother looked like. Castle Freak.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
The cops end up being called away somewhere else, and they figure that Tess is just on drugs.
So disrespectful.
After breaking in the house to retrieve her keys, Tess runs her car into Mother, seemingly killed her. She fucked her up pretty good with that car.
She did. She pinned her into that. She pinned her against that house, man.
H2O style.
Yeah.
She tries to go back for AJ. Fuck that. And she eats a bullet on accident for her troubles.
Yeah, he fucking shoots her, dude. Are you serious?
The two escape the house
on accident, but still.
And discover that Mother is missing and find shelter with Andre. Andre explains that Mother is the product of multi-generational incest by Frank. Mother then just ambushes the group and kills Andre. Andre just told him that Mother never comes this far out. We're safe here till morning.
As he's saying that, she fucking busts through the wall, fucking Kool-Aid Man style.
Right? And then the Mother chases Tess and AJ up a water tower. AJ pushes Tess...
They go full on Gilbert Grape.
He pushes Tess off the tower in an attempt to save himself.
Dude, can you believe when he did that?
I mean,
when he legit pushed her off the tower, dude, I couldn't believe. I was like, dude, like, right when you think that he's an unredeemable piece of shit, he does something worse to make himself an even more unredeemable piece of shit.
And then the Mother jumps after Tess, shielding her from the fall.
I just want to say that scene right there, the mom falling, that's the one scene in the movie that made me laugh. I actually laughed out loud. But I wonder if it was kind of meant to be funny with the saggy titties and all, the way she was like falling.
AJ tries to bullshit his way, trying to explain himself. Mother awakens and kills him. And then the Mother tries to comfort Tess and wants to take her back to the house. But Tess reluctantly shoots and kills the Mother and stumbles away as the sun rises.
Yeah, it's she fucking like splits his head open. AJ's head just legit gets like banana split.
He got fucked up.
Yeah, man. I thought it was a solid movie. I like that the Mother died because I don't really think that this should get a sequel. Just let this be a one-off, you know. But yeah, man, I dug it definitely. Yeah.
So, what'd you give it again?
I gave it an 8.6 out of 10.
I think. Yeah, I gave it gave her a flat 7. So, yeah, I guess that'll about wrap it up. So, thanks to all the horror hounds and smokers out there for tuning in. And I said we were going back to the 80s next week.
That's right. Early 80s.
Our first time having a guest on twice. I mean, we had 2 episodes with Brian Usna, but that was just all one long interview we split up.
Right.
This is our second time. We're going to have Laura Marie Taylor and John Diedrichson back on. We talked about Girls' Night a little bit when we had her on to talk about Friday the 13th Part 2. But we're going to do a deep dive into Girls' Night Out. Arrow's put out an awesome release. Me and Drew both have it, so you got to check that out if you can. So follow us online at High on Horror 420 at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Send us your Puff Ask questions at highonhorror420 at gmail.com. Make sure to check out our website, highonhorror.com. You can read some reviews that we put up there, because, I mean, we can't record an episode on every movie.
We can't review everything on here. It'd be 4-hour episodes, and we do have to do fucking daily episodes.
And we did cover some stuff from the Toronto After Dark Film Fest from this year, so check those out on there. So next week, Laura Marie Taylor, John Diedrichson, Girls' Night Out, or The Scare Maker, whatever you want to call it. I think they'll also share with us there was one other name that it went by. Catch you later.
Bye, everybody.